SCG prowess as well. He lost in the finals of the Invitational against, or in the last Invitational, Somerset. So he did very, very well. And his opponent was Eric Smith in that tournament. So Andrew is a noted control player. He's been playing control the last couple times we've watched. He had black-white control in the last Open that I covered. Utilizing Desecration Demon, Sign in Blood like we discussed earlier. And today, not far from that, is Esper control. But something to note, he has 0 creatures in his main deck. Not a creature. He is fully dependent on Ashiok and Elspeth. He has no other way to win game 1 besides Ashiok and Elspeth. And so far, 4-0, making it happen. We'll see which one of those Planeswalkers makes it happen for him today. Jory, on the other hand, is playing, let's say, a black-red deck of some sort, mid-range-ish. Same thing we see earlier, Read the Bones, Anger of the Gods, etc.
I think this is more of a control build. He's only got 4 Desecration Demons and 4 Stormbreath Dragons as his threats.
So he's controlling.
Yes, he's looking to finish off with creatures, but those creatures are very late in the game, and he's just going to be killing as many things as he can in the meanwhile.
Wow. So Andrew, and for those who are new and just joining us, we had quite the little discussion about Ashiok earlier, and we're seeing it again here, where I'm not a huge fan of it, to say the least. I'm actually, can't stand the card power-wise. And Ricky, you mentioned that you're not also a fan of it, but Andrew is banking on it. He is all in on Ashiok winning the game, because otherwise it's just 2 Elspeth. This seems like a control deck of old, where you just, you're bare bones skeleton crew on win conditions.
He's going to be disappointed when he flips over cards and doesn't see any creatures. Only the 8 copies in Jory White's deck.
And with that being the case, you'd have to think that Jory has a slight advantage here. But Andrew is going to have to, hold his Elspeth with dear life. Does he have any heroes downfall? Yeah, he has 3 in the main. So not only does Jory have, Andrew only have 4 Planeswalkers as his only win conditions with no 8th lane in the main deck, he also has his opponent with cards that vindicate those. So it's just quite, it seems like an uphill battle for him, doesn't it?
Jory White has 3 Heroes Downfalls, 2 Dreadbores, the 2 Rakdos' Returns, which you cite as the enemy of control decks for Planeswalkers. In addition to that, just a lot of other random things. We saw Thoughtseize there get dissolved. He's got a Ratchet Bomb that you can eventually get up to kill a Planeswalker, and 2 Shocks that could take something out.
This is just tough here. I think what I'm going to have to do here, if I'm the black-red control player, is just you just pocket those removal spells, hold on to those Heroes Downfall. Oh, he has 2 Dreadbore too. I missed that. That's 5 answers to Andrew's Planeswalkers. This is going to be rough, but let's see. So far we've had a Thoughtseize, Dissolve. We have 2 Mutavaults on Jory's side. We're going to start seeing them activated here. And you're going to see Mutavaults coming in as kind of like the precursor to finishing him off with his Desecration Demon and Stormbreath Dragons. I haven't seen a control deck this light on win cons, and the reason why I'm harking on it is because before you were able to play the Thalia Drown Yard, and you were able to, who cares how many win conditions you have main deck, because eventually I'm going to get you with these lands. Andrew, not the case. He has to actually get those Planeswalkers involved in the game, and they have to stay out for many, many, many turns. It's not something you can't just play an Ashiok, activate twice and the game's over, like Jace Memory Depth. You need that guy out for a long, long time.
So you think this is a nightmare matchup?
This is a nightmare matchup.
For Esper control.
And to top it all off, does he have Raptors Return? 2 Raptors Return. It's just too much. Too much. So if I'm the Esper player here, Andrew doesn't really know what Jory's packing here, what kind of heat he's packing. But at 4-0, you got to know that Jory's got a great control plan here.
How do you craft a victory in this situation as an Esper player, Shaheen?
You would have to not counter anything that stopped. You'd have to hold every counter spell to protect both Ashiok and Elspeth. If you waste any, you're going to lose this game. He also has an outside win chance with Jace Architect of Thought, getting it high enough to then steal their win condition as well. But again, it's just not a great plan against the black-red deck that has not only Burn to lower the loyalty, it's got Dreadbores and things that destroy Planeswalkers. That's another reason why when you're playing Control, you have to have a diversified win condition, where you have a creature way to win and a Planeswalker way to win. Trust me, I'd love nothing more than to play Planeswalkers and hope they win. But no, we live in the real world here, my friend, and we need Osmodan, and we need Aetherling, and we need that Sphinx that we saw earlier, the Hexproof Sphinx. You need ways to win.
So Jory is just picking away with the Mutavault, getting some damage in. He knows that an Esper deck likely does not have many ways to interact with this land that it attacks. Azorius Charm is, really
Hero's Downfall, a couple of removal spells, but then again,
if you get him to waste a Hero's Downfall on your Mutavault, the way is clear for Stormbreath Dragons later.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. And here is said win condition. So 1 out of 4 win conditions is on the board. Let's see how long Elspeth sticks around. And I don't think for long. I think he has a Hero's Downfall in hand, and he does. So in a turn, Elspeth will fall. The hero
gets 3 tokens out of it. Not really enough against a board of 2 Mutavaults.
Right, and a board that just, when you have Anger of the Gods, you're just itching to get rid of that card. But he's going to actually play a dragon here. And Andrew is down to, let's see. He has Far Away ×2. And he has Hero's Downfall and Doomblade. So he still has a lot of edges in this dragon. This dragon's a lot better against Esper than people think it is. Or, a lot worse against Esper than people think it is. Because of how many black removal spells are in Esper.
So gonna get 4 damage in here, but most likely not gonna get to go monstrous next turn.
No. And Andrew's at 8, so he actually has to kill it immediately. Oh, it looks like he has to Verdict. He doesn't have any other option. So he's going to lose all those tokens he made. So he's going to get in there for 3. He's going to Verdict. And then he's going to just hope that Jory does not have another Haymaker.
Right, but so Andrew's on his back foot having to tap out or close to it on his main phase with the Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, we got a good old-fashioned opposite color control deck here. One with a fully different plan. Yeah, I'm a control deck, says Jory, but I attack your hand, I attack your life total and bursts, and Andrew's deck is not equipped for that. Oh, what a draw. You see that draw? That's a Rakdos Return. That should do it. That is going to deal all but 1 point of damage to him. He's going to lose all of his cards. And he might do it for 1 less to play around Syncopate, which I'm not against that. Even so, he's going to put him at 2.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, actually, he's going to put him at 2 and kill with Mutavault.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
If it's for 6, I think. Is it for 7? 5?
4.
It's for 4. Okay, so he's not dead.
So puts him dead to the 2 Mutavaults next turn. Let me see those cards. Yeah, empty the hand. Get in for 2 with the Mutavault, and then you have 2 Mutavaults. So Andrew does not have a single card.
No.
That can answer 2 Mutavaults.
No, and the worst thing about this is, we mentioned this again, and this is
not quite.
Not enough. Showing you more cards and then conceding.
Okay.
So, Andrew saw again there, we mentioned earlier, and I kind of ranted on about Rakdos Return and how good of a card it is. It's even better than I describe it. It's just the best card you can possibly have against a control deck, especially now with Planeswalkers being the win condition, because it not only kills your Planeswalker, it empties your hand out, and it pretty much puts you into a top deck empty board mode. And looking at Andrew's deck, he's going to bring in, probably going to bring in Blood Baron of Vizcopia, excuse me. He's also going to bring in Aetherling to have some creatures now to battle, but I don't know if you could play a deck with no creatures in the main deck and put yourself solely on the back of Ashiok and Elspeth. It seems pretty risky. Pretty risky.
He's made it this far, Andrew Tenjum has.
And he's no slouch, too, so I trust his judgment. I've talked to Andrew in every open that he's been in, pretty much had a little chat, and he has a very similar play style to me. However, I think that in the current world, you want to play a deck that is just peak efficiency. All spells, all Planeswalkers, draw, go style. But this is not, like I said, this is the real world. In the real world, people can hate out a one-dimensional attack, and you have to have more than one dimension. You have to have multi-dimensional attack. You need to be able to attack them with creatures, you need to be able to attack them with Planeswalkers, and you got to attack them with basically like card draw and card advantage. So I see Andrew coming in, bringing in all this good stuff. He has Duress, he has Negate, all coming in. Thoughtseize coming in, Blood Baron, Aetherling. So he's bringing in everything but the kitchen sink here. And on the other side...
Kitchen Finks?
No, kitchen sink, sorry. Kitchen sink. No,
I misheard.
I wish there was some kitchen finks around. What do we got over here with Jory? What do you think he's going to bring in?
Yeah, I mean, he can do slaughter games.
Yeah.
Always nice. trading post, maybe get some
some goats.
Some goats or some recursion. Thoughtseize, an extra copy of Thoughtseize.
Yeah, he's going to definitely bring in the Underworld connections.
Yeah, Underworld.
He's going to bring in the Slaughter Games, the Return. He's going to probably bring in the Ratchet Bomb. And if he smells Blood Baron, he's going to bring in the Mizian Mortars.
Right.
I don't think there's an Esper deck in the format that doesn't play Blood Baron as a sideboard and or main. So it's a pretty safe bet to bring it in to help you out against that card.
Well, which is better there, Devour Flesh or Misery Mortars? So he's going to probably take out the Devour Fleshes.
Yeah, I think they're equally as good in this matchup because, again, Esper doesn't have many creatures.
Yeah.
So
but the Mortar's good against an Elspeth that spits out some tokens.
Yeah. And Devour Flesh, obviously, can only do so much when the Elspeth's already been activated once.
So we've got the full final standings from Pro Tour Theros in Dublin, Ireland. I'll give you an update here of the Team StarCityGames.com members, and you can check out that blog site, teamstarcitygames.com. Sam Black, playing Mono Blue Devotion, finished in 2nd place at the end of the Swiss. Paul Rietzel was in 5th. He was playing the black-white mid-range deck. So both those guys in the top 8, they are eligible for anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 extra cash, in addition to whatever they win at the Pro Tour, for being part of Team Star City Games as performance bonuses.
It's pretty good.
Kind of like sports now, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I try not to rant and rave about how great Star City Games has become, and it has always been. But right now, we're giving out money to people at a Pro Tour, not even at the Open Series, along with taking your guys' suggestions. I mean, you love Team Limited. We now have Classics Air Team Limited. We enjoy Legacy and Standard together instead of having Standard, so we dropped that real quick. I mean, we're definitely malleable, and we change to what our fans and what people following want. And not only that, we created this team, and if you look at the players on this team, it's hard to compare it to anyone else. I mean,
it's a stacked team.
Yeah.
So in addition to those two in the top 8, Patrick Chapin, the innovator, finished in 9th place, not on breakers. It was a clean cut because how many rounds they play. But he locked himself in for $500 bonus for the Team Star City Games bonus. Kai Bood just finished outside of the bonus money. He was in 17th place, the German juggernaut, and there were some photos of him signing German copies of the card Juggernaut, apparently. John Finkel, so Kai and Finkel, in the debate for the best player of all time, Finkel finished in 26th place. Brad Nelson, former player of the year, was 30th place. Reed Duke, been on an absolute tear playing Magic the Gathering. He was in 34th. Right behind him is team member. They won one of the Star City Games Team Sealed Opens together. William Huey Jensen, new Hall of Famer. He was 35th, right behind Reed Duke. Their third team member, Owen Turtenwald, was down in 55th.
Look at Huey Jensen's Open Series, wrecking he's been doing. That man is top 8 every single one he's played.
I believe he's still making top 8.
Yeah, that is just absurd.
Yeah.
And who else we got to get a look at?
Matt Sperling was in 43rd. Tom Martell, 51st. And so those, I believe, and Matt Costa, 99th. Gabriel Nassif, 274th. So according to these numbers, all but 2 of Team Star City Games made day 2, right? And then all but 3 made the cash. So they really hit on something.
They did.
Most of them played the Mono Blue Devotion, but Paul Rietzel and Patrick Chapin playing the black-white mid-range deck. Maybe that was actually the better deck because the 2 of them, 5th place and 9th place.
Pretty good.
Not bad. I don't know which other members of the team kind of went with the schism there.
Yeah. And Andrew now, back to our match here, is playing also black-white. Tossing a little blue in there. And let's see how his win conditions play out now. He should have maxed him out after board. Then again, I'm not sure why a lot of these are in the main deck, but I'll have a little chat with him. We'll discuss it. His hand right now is full of Doom Blades. God, how many? It hits Stormbreath Dragon.
Yeah, he saw the Stormbreath Dragon was really the only thing.
It's tough to leave that
They
card
can kill
in.
Mutavaults, but
yeah,
is that what you want to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it right now, but we'll see what's in his hand here.
So Jory's going to take a look with Thoughtseize and see if the way is clear to attack with a Mutavault. It's not going to be. There are multiple copies of Doomblade there.
I think right here, depends on what's in his hand, but it looks like the Dissolve is the card to take.
Yeah. Dissolve, not only a hard counter spell, but it's got that Scry, and we see that Andrew Tenjum only has a 4th land, so he's going to want to Scry at some point to fix up his future draws.
His hand's a very draw-go hand, and that seems to be the Andrew strategy right now, is playing a lot of these draw-go cards.
But he's got no card advantage in the hand. Yeah, take the Dissolve.
Looking at his deck, I don't think he has any card advantage in his deck besides the Revelation. He's not playing any Divination or
Read the Bones.
Or Read the Bones, yeah.
The debate. There was a tweet earlier about Read the Bones.
Yeah, somebody said they said it could be a dead card. So, listeners, now we had a little debate earlier about Read the Bones and discussion about it more or less. And why do you think Divination is better or Read the Bones is better? And you can tweet us at SCG Live, hashtag SCGMKE, or you tweet at me directly at ShaheenMTG and let us know. We're saying the Scry 2 on attached. I'm saying, in my side, is that it's just way better than Divination. The 2 life is well worth the Scry 2 in that situation. But again, you know, what do you guys think?
Well, Peter Williams earlier at the Mr. Mobius agreed with me. He said, I think the 2 life is relevant in some matchups, so sometimes Read the Bones is a dead card, whereas
Divination isn't.
That's true.
I mean, do you really want to be casting Read the Bones against a mono red player?
Yeah, I don't really want to cast Divination against him either, but you know.
Well, Jory goes to read some bones there. Andrew Tenjum denies him that with a Syncopate.
Yep. And it looks like Andrew hit a land drop here. Oh, Jory drew his Blood Crypt, so he's access to red now to assist all those Mutavaults in play. So, knowing Andrew doesn't have a full hard counter in his hand, you know you got rid of most of them. Do you return here for 3? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, the demon.
Rakdos' return? No.
Is that demon here? Or is that a life-bane zombie? I'm about to find out. Is that a life-bane zombie? Yep.
And it's not gonna, most likely not gonna nab a creature in this matchup.
No.
You might hit a Blood Baron, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a card I would not board in against Andrew. It just doesn't do enough. The unblockability of Fear is not really a big aspect against a control deck that specializes in 1-for-1. But then again, he might put Andrew on more than 2 Blood Baron. He might put him on more than a couple creatures.
Now, if it hit Planeswalkers, that would be something.
Now we're talking.
If you could hit Elspeth Sun's Champion.
I think Esper's best shot against his deck is something that he doesn't have, and that's in Sin Collector that we talked about earlier. Sin Collector is a fantastic card against a Control Mirror, especially against a Control Mirror not playing blue, because they can't Revelation their way out of it. If you pull those special cards out of their hand, you can really put a hurting on them.
So Andrew's surprisingly going for the away. Gonna make Jory sacrifice the Lifebane Zombie. He's worried. He's really worried about that 3-1. Is that because there's also 2 Mutavaults?
That is probably the reason. If I was Jory, actually, after seeing Andrew's hand, I just really see the Slaughter game.
So it looks like Jory is activating a Mutavault to try to sacrifice to the away, and Andrew uses the Doomblade to kill the Mutavault.
This is an interesting play because Jory doesn't have any more land, and he has a Rapid Return, so it's pretty much like...
Yeah, he just sacrificed his 5th land there, but he also has another Mutavault, a 3rd Mutavault, so...
All right, we drew a land here, and then you just Rapid Return for 3. Remember we talked about we don't play around stuff here. You just do it. See, nobody plays around anything. You just go for it.
Well, he thought seized away the Dissolve and then baited out the Syncopate.
He's had 3 draw steps since then, which is very likely he did not draw a counter by then.
And the fact that Andrew didn't try to counter the Lifebane Zombie, but instead went for, after it enters the battlefield, try to make you sacrifice it.
Yeah.
Seemed like an indication to Jory that the coast was still clear. Now Jace.
Oh, there's the Ashiok, the legendary Ashiok. So, for those who haven't been with us since the wee hours of the morning, we had a long talk about Ashiok, and again, here it is on screen. And my article coming out on Monday kind of addresses the weaknesses of Ashiok and why it doesn't belong in not only like Esper, but anything else that plays blue and black that's a control deck. He obviously just takes the land here. He needs the land. And Ashiok's primary ability, especially in these control matchups, don't do anything. You're never going to mill somebody out by continually pumping it up and up and up. You'd have to activate it 9, 10, 11, 12 times to actually finish someone off that way. And of course you can do the hand elimination, but look at this matchup right now. How many cards do you really have in your hand in the control mirror later in the game? You're pretty much, going blow for blow here.
Against Rakdos return, not many.
Especially, yeah. I mean, you have assistance there. And in Esper Mirror, you have Sin Collectors and Thought Seizes hitting you left and right. The hands is not the issue. It really comes down to right now, if Andrew were to slam a Jace Memory Depth on an empty board against an Esper Mirror control player, that's where you win the games. This is another similar situation. Elspeth on an empty board, pretty good too. Let's see if he has
the
a hero.
Dreadbore took care of the Jace. See if the Elspeth can survive.
I think he has a Hero's Downfall in his hand. No, he does not. He has Demon, Keyrune.
So this is a situation
All right, well,
where Elspeth is golden.
Yeah, he's going to kill the Demon by minusing it, unless Andrew draws a removal spell. What a good draw for Andrew. That's a pretty good. That Elspeth is pretty good.
Kill the demon, or just keep plussing Elspeth and
that's
make
even
it
better.
sacrifice
Yeah.
a token?
The only time that would be a risky play is if he draws the Hero's Downfall.
Or an Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, he's going to kill the Demon to be safe, I think.
He's going to think about it, though.
Yeah, I think I would kill the Demon. He's not going to. I don't think either play is wrong. I think one is much safer than the other, because keeping the Demon, when you have no cards in hand and you're drawing at the top, if he ever draws an answer to your Elspeth, that's going to be a 7/7 Demon in play. Yeah. And then an 8/8 Demon. There's things that will just be able to knock you out.
Well, not just an answer to Elspeth, an answer to the creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, we said that Anger of the Gods might get
he drew
out.
it. He drew it. You're the Hero's Downfall.
Oh, wow.
So now, not only is the Elspeth going to go away, he also is going to have this Demon out that's probably going to finish off Andrew here.
So is he going to...
Oh, he should have... Yeah, he should have... All right, well, he's going to downfall it during his turn, obviously. And then he's going to slaughter games. I think you should do those two plays there. Make sure he taps his mana right.
So Andrew's
Does he have the mana to do that?
15 life. Yeah, so downfall.
Or you just leave up 2 Mutabolts. That was another option. But I think he's actually going to slaughter games here, yeah. And he's going to name Sphinx of Revelation. I mean, I would.
No doubt.
Another big problem with slaughter games is, too, as a sideboard card. It's a decent card against the control decks, but since they spread out and diversify their card choices so much, a lot of times you're not going to get full value out of it. You might hit 2 Aetherling or 2 Blood Baron, but then 2 Osmodat and 2 Elspeth and 2 or 3 Jace and 2 or 3 Sphinx of Revelation, that you're not really getting max value out of it, but in conjunction with Thoughtseize,
No, he named
much
Elspeth.
better.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Pulling out the Elspeth instead of the Sphinx's Revelation. I agree with you. I would have gone for the Sphinx's Revelation.
That's the only card that's going to get Andrew back in this. I mean, Elspeth's good here, but Sphinx of Revelation I would take 10 out of 10 times right now. So he's going to look through, he's going to see the win cons, and Jory sees the bad news. He sees that there's multiple Revelations, they're all in there still. He sees Blood Baron in there.
Yeah. And only the single copy of Elspeth, in addition to the one that he just dispatched.
My friend, local, I don't know if he's listening or not, a good friend of mine, actually he's on his honeymoon right now.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations to Jeff Shield. He says he used to play control decks like me, and he would build them like me, but he's definitely a mid-range or aggro player. And he would put Slaughter Games in his deck, or Thought Hemorrhage, and he would name the wrong card every time. And he's like, you know what? I'm done with this card, because there's a lot of thought that goes involved in that card.
I once played against an old extended, played against a rock deck that had Cranial Extraction and Eternal Witness to recur it. My opponent cranial extracted me 5 times and I still beat him.
Yeah, it's not in the wrong hands.
I killed him with Sakura Tribe Elders.
Nice. Yeah, I got cranial one time for a Learn when I was playing Learn Extended, and I beat him down with some Cavern Harpies. That's always a good feeling. Alternate win. All right, so Ashiok comes down. the all-powerful Ashiok.
So you're saying Ashiok is not the left hand of darkness here?
No, I'm saying Ashiok is definitely, it's like the broken leg of darkness.
Yeah.
All right, so Dreadbore comes down, and again, we've talked about...
That's another top deck for Jory, though, right? He did not have that Dreadbore.
No, he drew the Dreadbore, he drew the Elspeth. He's drawn pretty well, but, you know, with his Revelations in his deck, he's got a lot of live draws.
A second Desecration Demon. So how many Supreme Verdicts has Andrew Tenjum
I think
left
it's 0.
in his deck? 0?
I didn't see any when Jory was slipping through. I didn't see.
Because he only saw, you know, Mutavaults,
he has the Tension Sphere.
Stormbreath Dragon.
He has the Tension Sphere.
Could get rid of 2 Desecration
Problem
Demons.
is Jory's playing he has multiple Mutavaults. He's got Rakdos Kiryu. Oh, and I just realized where I saw Jory from earlier. Walking away, he reminded me, he kind of looked like BBD, so I took a picture and tweeted him. So.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, so
this is the Brian Braun doing lookalike.
There's a Brian Braun doing Doppelganger. While BBD is out battling in Dublin, his Doppelganger is here battling in the Open Series. Tenjum, World of Hurt.
Sacrifices more soldiers to the demons, looking for his detention sphere.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's a good way to find it. That is an excellent way to find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Jory,
6
why
cards.
did you name Revelation? No.
That may be the decision that costs him this game right here.
Yeah.
We'll see if Andrew Tenjum has found one of those
Another
detention
Revelation.
spheres.
You don't even need it right now. He can say go again, sack 2 more.
Look how
Revelation
quickly
again.
he untaps once he's got 6 cards in his hand. I want to cast these spells.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's just got. He drew a lot of land, but he has a Revelation, so he gets to do this. He gets to do all this over again. Oh, he should have attacked. Oh, he's Mutavault. Never mind. Don't listen to me. That'd have been an awful attack. All right, so Jory untaps. He's going to go into his combat step. We're going to sack a couple soldiers here, and now Jory is probably going to get in there with his boys on the ground.
Yeah, activate a Key Rune, activate Mutavault, or both Mutavaults.
Man,
Or
Jory
he's-
has to be kicking himself. You name Revelation here, this game is over.
He's got Underworld connections, so he's going to pause his offense to draw some cards. Puts it on a Blood Crypt. Or is that the Guild Gate? I believe that's the Rakdos Guild Gate.
Yeah, he's going to draw a card here. And he drew Read the Bones, I think. Can't tell, he's doing the old hand switch. I think it's Read the Bones.
The old Kibler Shuffle.
Yep.
I don't think you can leave anything up to attack with. Read the Bones. So on the other side, Andrew's going to go for his second Sphinx's Revelation in a row. Runner, Revelation.
Yep. And the Flash are famous for doing this over and over and over again. Just chaining them together. This is going to be for 7. And I can't see Jory. It went from Jory being a 99% lock to the other way around, I think. It's just hard to lose.
I don't think it was 99%.
It was
Never quote me the odds.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's just say a high favorite.
Oh, he was certainly favored.
See, favorite could be 51%. I want you to live the experience of just being dead to rights, and that's what Jory was, or that's what Andrew was. And now it's frustrating, and Jory's got to be frustrated because getting that 1 Elspeth out, you can't imagine anyone has more than 2 Elspeth. I haven't seen a deck list of more than 2 Elspeth. You can't overload the 6-mana Planeswalkers.
And there you go. Off the second Revelation, Andrew finds a detention sphere, exiles both Desecration Demons. Don't have to worry about those triggered abilities anymore.
Nope.
Get out of here. 25 life, very comfortable against the Key Rune and multiple Mutavaults. Now he has to discard. What a nice luxury, right?
That is.
Too many cards in hand. Probably getting rid of some number of lands.
Yeah, definitely keep the Scry lands. I think he's about to discard the Scry lands. I would discard the Shrines first. Actually, I think he's just going to ditch all of his land. Yeah.
Feels like he's got enough lands.
All right, so Jory draws. He left it. I think he left another Read the Bones on top.
Gonna draw with Underworld Connections again.
A couple land added to his repertoire. I just don't know at this point what Jory needs here, because we know Andrew has syncopate and dissolve in his hand and negate. Oh man, it's gonna get negated here.
I don't want to show you.
Yep. And he's got far and away too, so any combination of activating things will lead to Andrew being able to deal with a lot
sadness and death.
Yeah.
So important thing for all you watching at home, with Underworld Connections, it gives the activated ability to the land. So if you want to name something with Piling Needle, make sure to name the land that it's on and not Underworld Connections.
Guess what? I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
And so if you're playing Underworld Connections, it's very important then to put them on different lands if you can.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a Rakdos Guildgate and a Swamp, or Rakdos Guildgate and Blood Crypt, multiple connections, put them on different lands, so you don't get stopped by one needle.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of these things, these little nuances like that, it's very rare to come up, but that's something big nowadays, because Pithy Needle is one of the better answers for Underworld Connections. All right, so we have Aetherling. See, Andrew, how good does it feel to play creature now? Stop messing around with those little planeswalkers. Time to play Big Daddy here and end this game. And we know that Aetherling is just a monster to deal with in the control.
It's a singleton in his sideboard. Why not find a space to make a singleton in your main deck, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it might not be a bad decision. Shave off literally one of these removal spells, throw a Aetherling in there, and you'll definitely be for the better. You'll win a lot of games where you set up control, and now you're finally able to finish.
Yeah, it's a quick clock. Elspeth, how long does it take to win with an Elspeth Sun's Champion in play? Too long.
Too long, and a lot of times you don't, because Hero's Downfall is everywhere.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how to kill Aetherling.
You can't.
You can't. Minus Pithy Needle and a removal spell, there's nothing else to deal with Aetherling, so it's just one of those where you want to have at least one in your deck. I actually boarded out Aetherling against the aggro deck, and I made a huge mistake because, yeah, it might not be great against aggro, but you still need a way to win, and it's a creature, so you need a way to win.
Funny thing about Aetherling, apparently some of the block constructed technology from Ravnica Block on Magic Online, Debtor's Pulpit is an answer.
Oh yeah,
that people are talking about for Aetherling. That is the white version of Underworld Connections that gives the enchanted land the ability to tap target creature.
Yeah, that's something. Definitely fringish.
Hey, when you're playing block constructed, you find what answers you can.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I love block constructed, because this is a limited, not quite an all-star, it costs 5. It's a little expensive, but it's a very good limited card.
Yeah.
And I love that it found a way into constructed.
Yeah.
No matter the fringe.
All right, well, Jory packs it up. So we're going to go to game 3. Here's a new revelation for you. I get it. Drawing 13 cards. Tough to lose after that.
Is that good?
It's good. Drawing 13 cards, I've learned this. That's the number. Any less, any more, not great. 13 is the number you want.
So 12, if Andrew had drawn 12 cards,
probably wouldn't have
the detention sphere would have been the 13th, he would have lost.
Right
there.
That's it. We, like you said, you're a statistics guy. I think it's about a 48.6% chance of victory.
Oh my goodness. All right, C3PO, enough of that.
Yeah, my math is not on point, let me tell you. If you guys have any history questions, you feel free to tweet me at Shaheen MTG, and we'll discuss some. I guess you can discuss the Persian Wars, the Crusades, teach all that stuff. We can discuss. Let's see, anything world history, River Valley civilizations, interesting things like that. Beginning of time, Neanderthals.
I'm more of a modern European history guy. So
I used to be.
You can ask me about things like the Battle of Verdun.
Okay, yeah. European history is pretty interesting. You know what? Last time I commentated with Chapin, he ranted on about Mortal Kombat and
the video game?
The video games in plural and all the Street Fighters for about 45 minutes. And then he started talking about the history of Magic starting at the very beginning into the battle in Urza where everyone dressed up in mech suits and fought each other and all this stuff. So if at some point you and I can just go on a history rant if you want. if the game starts to dry up a little bit.
I would rather talk
Alex,
about
please come to the stage.
anything else.
Come to the stage, please.
All right, we'll leave history out of this. Well, the history
We should
of
talk more about the Pro Tour. We can talk more about the OP changes. If you weren't with us earlier, Wizards of the Coast announced some changes to their organized play structure. They are moving the World Magic Cup and the World Championship to the end of the year, so December 2014, rather than up earlier in August. And they expanded the World Championship from 16 players to 24, and the payout too went from 100,000 to 150,000. So they're trying to make it more of a showcase and to go along with the rankings, right? The worldwide Magic the Gathering rankings. Josh Utter-Layton has been in first, number 1 in the world, the last 2 rankings.
All right.
We'll see who comes out number 1 after Pro Tour Theros in Dublin.
pretty exciting stuff. It's one of those things where not a lot of us are ever going to be in that situation to participate, but they're trying to make it entertaining enough so even the spectators can enjoy it.
Absolutely. People love rankings. People love, polls like the AP polls,
Yeah.
college football rankings. Is Alabama number 1? Is Oregon number 1?
Yeah, definitely. Andrew kept a no blue hand real dangerous. So, and Jory is going to play an Underworld Connections right off the bat. This is, I don't know how often you played Underworld Connections, but it's a card that is, oh, never mind, Life-Bane Zombie. All right, that's better, I guess. I would definitely slam the Underworld Connections while he has no blue to take full advantage of it.
Even though you can't activate it this
Yes,
turn.
absolutely. Just resolve it, because once that card's in play, it is rough makings for victory after that. And Andrew doesn't have blue, because there's no way he plays a Plains on turn 2
Yeah.
without a blue. Yeah, he would definitely
After
play
the
the blue.
temple.
Right, so Jory, you got to think about it in the future again. Like, a lot of players play the here and now, but they're like, oh, well, I can't activate it this turn. But that's not the point. You see no blue, you got to slam that thing out there, so it's just lights out. Oh, and look, he drew a blue source. Disaster.
So Andrew's going to shock himself to get that Watery Grave down.
Disaster.
And have that Syncopate up.
It's just small plays. You gotta be very careful, and
Yeah,
don't
there
give
you go.
Don't give your opponent chances to beat you. Oh, there's Ashiok. There's Ashiok.
So he goes for the Ashiok instead.
Yep. Well, let's see if we hit a
Is
creature.
that
I can't see what he's removing, so
is
I don't
that the right play there, Shaheen? To go for
um,
Ashiok instead of leaving the Syncopate up?
I think so, because Andrew doesn't know about Underworld Connections, and I don't think he's playing around. It's hard to play around hypotheticals where Jory knows exactly what Andrew's packing there.
Right, and the turn 4 could be something like Slaughter Games, which you can't counter.
Right. All right. So he's going to Ashiok will be murdered, and Life-Bane Zombie connects. So Jory doesn't draw a land here. It's pretty rough. I think if I'm Jory there, I play maybe Keyrune there and let Ashiok mill me again, because Ashiok's not doing
Not
much.
fearsome, yeah.
Yeah. It's people just get afraid when you see a Planeswalker, you got to kill it. That one, he's not very good, and you can leave him in play a couple turns.
All right, Temple of Deceit.
Now Andrew is loaded up. He's going to try to play a Keyrune here. And then he'll play the other Keyrune. He said the Keyrune at the beginning of my hand, not so good. Let's play this one.
It's going to get Syncopated, which is not bad because Jory White has been stuck on his 3 lands.
Yep. Oh,
The
and
last
what
two
he just
turns.
drew a Jace. Very good here. I think he played Jace here and plus it. And let Life-Bane Zombie decide where to go, and then you can minus it, and then still have Jace alive afterward.
We'll clear the way first.
I'd like to give him an opportunity to commit more to the board.
Yeah, but being stuck on lands, I guess if Jory goes 4th land, Desecration Demon.
Then you can play Verdict and then blow him out, yeah.
And he's going for another Keyrune. He's been sandbagging that Underworld Connections for quite a few turns now. Could have been drawing a bunch of cards, but instead went a much more aggressive route with the Life-Bane Zombie and was kind of forced to follow up with the Keyrunes to keep the aggression on.
I don't like the minus here either. I think you plus it here because he's going to activate Key Rune and just kill it, and you can't stop it. I think he's just throwing Jace away. So Andrew will take the 2 lands. But the thing is, no, he doesn't. Does he have another land in his hand? I don't think he does. Oh, he does. He does. He has planes. Okay, never mind. So he's going to kill Jace here.
But that eats
Oh,
his
wow.
turn.
He can actually return them instead. How many cards does he have in his hand? 4? Oh, I think you
Return for 3.
return for 3 and kill Jace? I think you do.
Yeah, because Andrew
Yeah,
does
you
not have
def-
blue mana
Is that-
open.
Is that a return or a slaughter game? I think he has a slaughter games and a return. Maybe I'm wrong. That's a slaughter games
That's
there.
a slaughter
he has
games, but he
both.
also
has
has a
both.
Rakdos' return.
Yeah. You return for 3 here, kill Jace.
No.
Or
goes for the
as
slaughter
long as he
game.
names Fix the Revelation, I like this play too. But you gotta name the right card this time because it's the only card in there. There we go. There we go. He fooled
So
me
he
once.
he
Fooled me
learned
once.
his lesson. it potentially cost him the last game, but he's learned his lesson now.
Yep.
Get rid of the Sphinx's Revelation.
And Andrew didn't reveal his hand. He just flipped out the Revelation. There we go. Now let's reveal our hand here. I like this play, and I don't. I think the return would have been better, but it's still not too bad. Because now Andrew's going to minus Jace, draw cards, play another Jace, draw cards, or plus it, and then have his hand refilled again. But we'll see how it goes. Andrew really wants a blue mana here. He needs to be able to play Jace number 2, and then be able to negate the return coming back at him. So here we go. Black land. There's the blue land. All right, so and he takes that. He does not take the blue land. That means if he took the blue land there, he would have been able to do work with it here.
It's just got the negate.
Oh, he drew an
left.
island. Never mind. He drew an island. Yeah, 'cause he needs that extra blue in order to protect the second Jace coming
Second
down.
Jace. Well, he can't protect it from the Key Rune.
No.
Not with blue.
Oh, yeah.
He's got Doomblade, but the Key Rune is a black and red devil creature.
Again, I don't think Andrew's really... Andrew is not treating his planeswalkers with respect. You know? He's playing them and then throwing them away after they give him a little
That's
bit
not
of
how you
love.
treat your friends.
That's not how you treat your friends. So Duress nabs the Rakdos return. Jory's hand's not bad. He still has a lot of action there. But Jory should remember that Andrew has a Doomblade, and he should send that Key Rune immediately at Jace. Save. Do not play that dragon. He knows he has a Doomblade. Kill Jace.
No. He's gonna
No.
Underworld connections.
Yep.
No?
Think about this. Get rid of that Jace while you can. There we go. And then you just play Underworld Connections tapped. And pull out the negate that way. You're going to have to make him get rid of the negate anyway, so. And your remaining cards in hand is not too bad, you know? Yeah, he's going to do that too. There
Did
we
you
go.
know that this Key Rune was a devil creature?
I didn't know
How
that.
far we've come, right?
Yeah.
The original Magic, they had to get rid of the creature type demon.
They had pentagrams painted on, what's that? The
Unholy Strength.
Unholy Strength, yeah.
They had to kind of
Get rid of that on the next
MS
edition of
painted
it.
out.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so Desecration Demon meets a downfall.
All right, so we're down to mono battle, and guess what card Andrew does not have in his deck anymore?
Nope.
So without Revelation, you got to give Jory the edge here. Oh man, great card to draw. Return. Just get those last 2 cards out of his hand, and then you know your dragon's safe. This matchup is a nightmare for Andrew, and mainly because he only has one Aetherling. Aetherling is your true out against the black-red control deck, and only having one of them is not enough to, you gotta get real lucky. Our top decks are gonna get very bad here if they're not in the Planeswalkers.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Very nice draw from Andrew. He dissolves the Storm Breath Dragon.
Oh.
And then follows up with an Elspeth.
All right.
So yeah, Jory right there can't help but smile at the back-to-back top decks after the Rakdos' return. Dissolve for the Storm Breath Dragon and an Elspeth Sun's Champion to follow it up.
Luckily, the dragon number 2 is here.
Tenjum players, that is time in the round. Active
So that's going to hit Elspeth.
Additional turns.
You cannot. It's tempting to hit the player, but then Elspeth can do the minus ability. You must go after Elspeth here.
Is he attacking Andrew with the key rune then? So yeah, block the key rune.
There we go.
Elspeth
Now
goes
Andrew,
down.
even with his top decks, if he does not draw an answer to that dragon, he's going to die. But he'll go to 1. He'll go to 1. As long as he gets rid of that card. If he draws a counter spell, he's dead. Because the monstrosity will be, yeah, his monstrosity will be 7.
So +1, Elspeth again. Attack with 2 tokens.
If this is not a card he can cast, the game is over. What a way to go, too.
What
drawing a
card could he
counterspell.
be?
It has to be a counterspell for him to die here, straight up. Oh, no, 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 no. You gotta do the dragon.
Oh,
Hey.
wow.
Look at these draws.
That's 3 in a row right there.
Man.
It was Dissolve,
Jory.
Elspeth, Doomblade.
Do you think Jory has cut his deck in a bad way? Or?
I'm surprised Andrew attacked with the 2 soldier tokens, because now the key rune, he could have quadruple blocked the key rune to kill it here.
Yeah, I think he's just. I don't think he would attack with the key rune if that was the case. I think he would just held it back.
Sure, but I don't know. Is he hoping to kill him with the soldiers? I guess he is.
Yeah,
but
right now he's just going all out blitzing here. And then Jory's draws are Thoughtseize Land. When Andrew's draws are, what was before Elspeth?
Dissolve, Elspeth, Doomblade. Now we have mystery card in hand.
Yeah. It's
All
probably like a revelation. He
So
got,
Andrew's just
he got back in his deck somehow.
playing the Abyss game with the key rune, letting one token block each turn. Meanwhile, he's going to keep making tokens and attacking with an ever-developing force, kind of like a legion, you might say.
Yeah, a legion of...
He's assembling a legion.
Assembling a legion, yeah. So when Elspeth got spoiled and I was on camera the minute it did, and I went on there and I ranted on about how awesome it is,
And there it is, wow.
you see it right here in action, that 6 mana is a perfect number for the Planeswalker, and it's still an absurd card.
It's still very powerful.
Have you seen a 6 mana Planeswalker or something like that? $40, stay at $40 for as long as it has? That's something that's like new territory. Because usually the fringish 2 of and control deck cards like that, or even Consecrated Sphinx, don't get to $40, $50. It's just something that stays at 20 at most, 25 pushing it. But the reason why it's $40 is because that card, it does everything. It assembles a legion, it kills dragons, and then it ultimates to make, in case they're diddling around with Jason Architect over there, to give your guys enough oomph to go over and finish them off. So
Are we allowed to say that word?
diddling around? I don't know.
I believe we're supposed to say dirtling.
Dirtling? Okay.
Phrase coined by New Hall